I'd like to invite you to join myself and 14 other evolutionary astrologers for the first ever Evolutionary Astrology online conference. This is actually the first time we're coming together for a conference since 2012. This conference gathers together some of the most talented and skilled and practiced world-renowned astrologers in the field of evolutionary astrology. So this is an exciting experience. We're really hoping to present these teachings in a truly accessible and solid way. So this is the weekend of October 6th to 8th. What I want to do is actually show you all of the teachers and talks that will be presented during this conference, and I'll speak a little bit about the enrollment process. So this conference will be kicked off by David Green, and she'll be starting us off by addressing the Pluto paradigm, its philosophy and basic approach, which is the core of evolutionary astrology, working with Pluto and the nodes. Simon Vorster will be speaking to Saturn and Pisces, collective reflection in time's passages, the evolutionary meaning and nature of Saturn's transit through Pisces. Lilith and the Nodes. This is by Jordan Smith and Helena Garcia. This is actually a very exciting topic to me. Many of us are familiar with Black Moon Lilith. Jeff Green taught about the asteroid Lilith as well. The asteroid Lilith, which I work with, to me is a very important, powerful asteroid. Interestingly enough, not a lot of people work with the asteroid Lilith. Most people work with Black Moon. So I'm really looking forward to this talk and hearing what they have to share about this particular asteroid. And all these talks will also have examples, and really wanting to make these teachings practical and demonstrated as best as we can. My talk will be on Uranus and the subconscious submerged memories of the soul. Uranus will reflect where many of our perceptions and reactions in this lifetime are rooted in subconscious memories that we're not consciously aware of. So we unravel that and we actually see how our past is influencing our current life perceptions. This will be a very insightful talk, again, with a couple of very interesting case studies. Laura Nalbandian speaking on planets that square the nodes, a very essential topic in EA. Bradley Narragon on seeing through the lens of the planetary nodes. So we know about the moon's nodes, but in case you weren't aware of this, all of the planets have planetary nodes, a north and south node. This is something Jeff Green taught a lot about, and Bradley will be speaking to this. Kimmery on parent-child dynamics. That will be a very interesting topic. I'm looking forward to that. Steve Wolfson working with Pluto and the wounds of change. And Pluto is about evolution, but this talk is going to be about evolution, why the soul creates the various evolutionary experiences, but also how to work with it, how to integrate this in a way of compassion and self-love. Ram Shahal will be speaking to evolution and the emotional body, 4th house, 10th house polarity. She writes in the description that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this 4th house, 10th house polarity is really that human experience. Understanding that evolution occurs through the emotional body. So I'm looking forward to the insights shared in this talk very much. Jason Holly on Chiron and the compost pile, transforming pain into nourishment and medicine. I love that topic. I'm very much looking forward to this talk. I love his presentations and how he brings these teachings out in really brilliant and accessible ways. And to me, Chiron is one of those topics that it's just so deep and so healing. There are so many layers to unpack and really making that particular archetype more available and accessible to us. Special guest Demetra George, who's an all-time friend of EA, was a friend of Jeffrey Wolf Green. She'll be giving a talk on asteroid goddesses and magical transformations. Kristen Fontana will be speaking about the yod between the 7th house with the 12th and the 7th house to the 2nd house archetypally. Her talk is called The Road to Higher Love. This 7th house focused yod, Jeffrey Wolf Green spoke a lot about, really speaks to our essential relationship needs and orientations. Both speaks to the path of how we displace need and value onto one another, also how we can learn to cultivate more self-value and self-esteem on the other end of that displacement. Also speaks about our expectations and ideals and how we cultivate forgiveness and understanding through our relationships. There's a lot of wisdom and depth to unpack just in the yod between the 7th house and the 12th and 2nd. Very fascinating topic to unpack in any chart. Rose Marcus will be speaking to evolutionary transitions, Pluto and the lunar nodes in transit. This is a very essential topic, and at any particular time, we can look at the position of Pluto and the lunar nodes and actually understand at any particular time What's the collective evolutionary intention? How is that manifest and relevant for each individual natal chart? How is that expressing? What are the past dynamics coming forward? What are the new evolutionary potentials to be embraced at this time? All of that is revealed by the core transits of Pluto and the lunar nodes. Very essential, very informative topic. And we have Michelle Dench speaking on a very fascinating and very well-known, and I think at this time it's maybe one of the most popular topics out there, especially with the South Node in Libra and the current Venus retrograde: soulmates and karma mates, relationship and the evolutionary journey of the soul. This is something Jeff Green wrote about extensively in his Pluto 2 book, We Meet Again, Pluto, the Evolutionary Journey of the Soul. He spoke a lot about Mars and Venus, the cycles of Mars and Venus, and composite chart work. So she'll be sharing her own insights and learnings on this topic through the lens of evolutionary astrology. Finally, the final talk we have here is from Patricia Walsh. In my view, Patricia Walsh is the forerunner of bringing evolutionary astrology work into this world through the lens of past life regressions. Her knowledge of the soul and its movement through lifetimes, because she's a very well-known and practiced past life regression therapist. She trains people in past life regression work, and she's a very practiced evolutionary astrologer. So her soul talk is on soul dramas, how to read the script. And it's just a fascinating talk, looking at the natal chart to understand the core script, the core soul drama story that we're playing out. And it's really all focusing in the core Pluto and the nodes paradigm. She will share some tips on how to follow the breadcrumb trails using the Pluto nodes method to build an insightful narrative that addresses the core karmic themes of the soul. Really beautiful, really fascinating. Now, again, all of these talks will have a lot of case studies. We're wanting to make it very practical and examples. We'll also have time for Q&A within each talk. Now let's look at signing up. You can sign up in two ways. You can pay for the full conference. You are invited to use the coupon code Pluto, and that will get you 10% off. Or if you want to become a member of the association, you can do this right there, and you can use the coupon code member. Becoming a member of the association gives you $50 off the conference cost. It also gives you complete access to the entire class series that was taught last year. These are 9 classes that we taught over the last year. So you become a member, you get 9 classes and $50 off. A beautiful deal, very much worth it. Okay, so this is the rundown on the conference that's happening again October 8th to 10th, just a little over a month from now. Please check it out. Be in touch if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.